And I should have first introduced my bride, Bridget, all the way from Cambodia. And she's really the unsung hero of what happens there. I get to stand up in front of everybody and talk, and people assume that I know what's going on, but really Bridget is far better than I. But when we look around the room, we see a couple of things, right? First of all, that there's no one here that's not already involved in some way, right? And that's one of our problems. We are terribly outmanned and outgunned in this fight, right? And I mean, it is critical. The statistics tell us that every day, over 50,000 new victims of human trafficking. 50,000 a day. Now we take a look at that versus the rescues. 213 rescues a day. We are overwhelmed with the people that are fighting against this and the dollars that they have to fight to make money. We need to do all we can to get more involved in the fight. We've actually been blessed in Cambodia. We've been able to see some progress because we have much more support than the normal organization fighting trafficking. We're super blessed, and because of that, we're able to see some progress that others haven't. And one of the things that's become evident to us is this battle has to be fought on 4 fronts. Right? And if all 4 fronts aren't being fought on at the same time, progress really isn't being made in defeating the evil. And the 4 fronts are prevention, rescue, restoration, and reintegration. And any one of those things being done is good, right? Rescuing a girl, bringing restoration to a girl is a great thing. But if we're not doing anything to prevent that happening, it's a good thing for a few girls, and the evil continues. And the other thing is once a girl has been restored, if there is no place for her to go, okay, and that's on 2 levels, right? When a girl, most girls or human beings, not just girls, we focus mostly on girls, they're lacking, they need something to do. What's going to be their new life? So there's the jobs, and we're able to deal with that in Cambodia in the context that we work in. Actually, they made this shirt that I'm wearing today. Some of the girls are wearing the bracelets. They make the bracelets I'm wearing, and we've been blessed with distribution that we can actually employ a few hundred girls, which is a pretty cool thing. But that's not the average case here in the States, right? And while there's resources for vocational training and stuff, they're not being, I don't think they're being utilized in the way that they need to be. But the other part that's more important, most of these girls need a family, right? And when they leave aftercare, the aftercare as Christians, right, we say that we're their family, right? They've become part of our family. And in most situations, that's a nice thing to say, but they really don't remain part of our family, do they? Right? They go off and they're reintegrated someplace. And again, we have a different context in Cambodia, where we actually have our social workers follow up every month with every girl that's ever been in our program, right? And the girls who make bad choices and go back in the brothels, our social workers go in and pray and do Bible studies with them, and they know that they are loved and they are truly connected to a family, right? And I'm rambling a little bit here because I'm going off my planned speech, but aftercare, I believe in the United States, and most of you are interested in that issue, is short-term in residential care. And then there needs to be long-term care in Christian families. Christian families need to step up. Now, it's not easy, by the way. It's easy for me to say that. But if you are equipped and supported, right, if you have both of those things going for you, then we can become families for these now survivors, right? But that's a critical component. for the girls. So fighting on all 4 levels. So wherever you are, we're unique in the sense that we have a central location where so much trafficking takes place. So we actually do all 4 things. That's not normally going to be the case. But if we're going to really fight this, we need to find partners that are going to be fulfilling the 4 fronts that we're going to fight on. And it's critical that that's done. The other critical thing is this is a church thing. This is not a secular thing. And we get confused because we think, and by the way, secular people can be involved in the fight, but they can't win it. Okay, and here's the reason why. Things that are part of our fight are things that we do, and we do in Cambodia, and we think are important, are economic development, right? That's because people have to have jobs, they have to have a place to work, education, so they can get that work, so they understand about human trafficking and all the other issues. A great justice system with laws and a system of police and judges. All those things are great and we should have them. They never defeated evil. Never once have they defeated evil. The love of Christ defeats evil. And that's why the church is critical. Because as human beings, we don't have enough love in us. Right? I ran out after 2 months in Cambodia, right? And what we started with the idea of staying connected to Christ is critical. Because it's His love flowing through us that brings transformation, not just to victims, but also to the perps. Right? We have, one of the things we do in Cambodia is we have a gym that reaches out to the bad guys, right? Because Jesus loves them. Now, initially I wanted to hit him with a baseball bat. I got to be honest with you, that seemed like the most compassionate thing I could do. God touched my heart. But what are we, as a church, we're the only answer, right? There's no other answer to this issue but the church. And too many in the church get confused between a command and a call. Standing with the oppressed and fighting injustice isn't a call. It's a command of God for everyone who follows Jesus. So there's no one in this room, there's no one in any church that someone states they're believers of Christ that can say, it's not my call, right? You can say, yes, you're right, it's not your call, it's the command of God. The call is, how do we get involved? How do we fight? And there's tons of oppressed, sadly. There's tons of injustice that goes on in this world. And so there's plenty of opportunity. But this one, I can't believe there's many that touch the heart of God as much as this issue of sexual trafficking and exploitation. And really what you're seeing in that's what's happening. Right, that's what's happening all over the world today. It's happening here that men are going around and buying women and children. Right? And that's the bottom line. And that's another thing as we look around this room today. How many men are here versus women? And if you look at anti-trafficking groups around the world, there's far more women. Men are inconsequential in it. And the sad part is we're the problem. Right? We could defeat sex trafficking tomorrow, just execute all men. I am not for that, being of the male gender, but that's the truth. We're the issue, and we're hardly part of the fight, right? And we have to man up. And I just want to encourage you that if we can get the platform, our senior pastors have to man up. Okay, and I was a pastor, so I can say that, right? But our senior pastors have to man up, and they have to be willing to talk about this issue, and they need to talk about an issue that drives it: pornography. Right? Pornography drives sex trafficking. Pornography, when a man views pornography, or a woman views pornography, it helps to get the little girl raped. That's the truth. And we don't want to be that bold about it, do we? We don't want to say the truth. We want to say there's other truth that destroys families, right? And the way that churches, I shouldn't say this, but so churches have spent more money fighting gay marriage, which doesn't destroy other families, by the way, but nothing on pornography. if you look at the church in general, and I'm sure there's churches that probably maybe represented here that have made that an issue, but 2/3 of all Christian men watch pornography every month. 2/3 of all Christian pastors watch pornography every single month. 89% of all pornography in the world comes from the United States, 70% of it from Los Angeles. Now, we were thinking of bombing LA, but we got a fundraiser coming up, so we're going to wait. But here's the, gosh, I didn't say anything I have in there. That's interesting.
Let's show the Bella video because we're running out of time.
Okay, so let me preface it. This is what can happen, right? We've been blessed to be able to experience by having enough people fighting with us, having enough resources. You can see what can happen if we can do that. And so, thank you for watching my time.
My name is Bella, and I'm 21 years old. I was born in Phnom Penh. Yeah. And when I was young, one lady, she tricked me. Like she said that go there to her house. I just go to clean her house or prepare her clothes, something like that. Yeah, and then after she fed me like 1 or 2 months, she sold me. When I was 12 years old, I have been work like a trafficking. They forced me to go to have sex with guys, and I always don't want to go. And she always hits me, yeah, and blame me. And I worked there about 1 month, and I really hurt. Like I want to go away from that place, but I cannot go. She sent me there to the house, yeah, and then have the guy come in. Like a day, maybe 5. They pay like $20, and then like he do something bad to me, yeah. I say no and I cry, and they said, please let me go. She told me that if I escape from her place, she will do something to my family. I felt like I'm hopeless. I have nothing. No one care about me, and no one like think that I'm special. And my future, I will think I will die one day, and if I still work like that, I will get disease and I will die. Nothing. And then, like have two foreigners. They called me, my like 2 friends, go to the hotel, and they said they want to have sex like that. Then, like that time, I feel like happy. I don't know why, but I feel different. Yeah. Then we went to the hotel. Yeah, and then we sit and we waiting, and then like have 2 foreigner guys, and they come and they talk with us and ask us about the life And then we told them, and they asked me and my friend that, do you want to leave the place that you stay? We said yes, we want. And then after that, the police come and we saved us. And then I went to Agape, yeah. So I come to live there about 4 years, and they give me a lot of opportunity. Yeah, they love me a lot, and they show me they are come to part in my life. They let me go to school, education, like do what I want to do in the future. They always give me advice, and they always encourage me. Yeah, that I'm special. Like especially Don, he always said I'm special. But before I cannot get it because I think I'm not special. But he always said. And right now, I know I'm special. I think God will use me to help other girls like they have been trafficking. And I know that's hurt. And I know they don't want. And so I know that God used me to save them. And to tell them that just God can help them and loves them. And told them that they are special. And they, if they become in Jesus, they will save and they will have more love.
So I've given you a bunch of rabbit trails and not really closed anything out, right? And I'm sorry about that, but the truth is, it is love. In other words, basically, Bridget's far better at loving Bella than I was, but I was the first man that treated her like a daughter, right? And that's why men are important in this fight. It was love. In other words, she was told she was special a lot. When did she realize she was special? When she was treated that way, right? That's all part of that, being connected to God and being able to, because she wasn't exactly the nicest girl when she first came, as well she shouldn't be after what she's been through. But let me just say this, you know, the hope that is there, that Bella represents, is there for every girl, every person, right? It's there. And because we're few in number now, right? I guess I just wrap this up by saying we need to use every gift that we've been given to reach out and build those into the fight. We can remind people, right? It's a command, right? It's not a call. We can provide opportunities for them to serve. But if we do that, God can end this, right? It's well within His power, but He's chosen to use His church to do this. And if we as a church will rise up, God will bring more and more Bellas into this world who will, like Bella, who, by the way, she has joined the fight. She works for us today, and she goes into brothels and rescues girls. That's pretty cool. She's married to a great Christian guy. And just before we came back from Cambodia a couple of weeks ago, we learned she's pregnant with their first child. Right? And so that's what God can do if we'll just be the vessels through whom He works. Thank you.